Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I want to welcome you to another Cape Conversations. Where am I today? Well, I'll tell you, the sexiest car on Cape Cod is in Sandwich, Massachusetts, and it's called a boat tail. So I want to invite you to come along with me and have a good conversation. Well, once again, I'm sitting at the most lovely place in all of Sandwich, Massachusetts, and probably the most lovely place on Cape Cod. And I happen to have behind me here my favorite car, which they will not allow me to drive, but I would like to. I am sitting here with the brand new, spanking new director, Ann Putney, right? Mm-hmm. Nice to meet you, Ann.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming by.
Oh, I'm so excited to meet you. So tell me everything. Where are you from?
Well, I moved here from Southern California, where I worked in a large botanic garden, but originally born in Boston, raised in New York, and spent my life around Washington, D.C.
Oh my gosh. So you were at a botanical garden out there, and so obviously flora and fauna are not the same from the West Coast to the East Coast.
That's correct.
So was it a big surprise when you got here?
It's a homecoming.
Oh, nice.
Daffodils, hyacinths, grape hyacinths, rhododendrons, hydrangeas. I feel like
don't forget those rhododendrons.
No, the rhododendrons and hydrangeas. I have come home.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really terrific. And so tell me, you've only been here how long? A couple of months?
Since the very end of January.
Excellent. Oh, so you were here for the lovely winter weather.
Yes, I was.
So having seasons, is that a shock?
It's a great blessing.
Yes. Well, see, I like
it's
seasons.
very much welcomed.
Yeah, because every day is sunny gets boring.
That's exactly right.
And we're in New England now, and you're in New England now, so every day you wake up and go, oh my gosh, what's going on with the weather? So you've been here that long, and you're getting to know people, I'm sure. So, I mean, here you are at Heritage Museums and Gardens. Obviously, it is one of the jewels of Cape Cod, and certainly the number one jewel of Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Thank you.
So what do you got going on?
Oh, so much. We have so much going on. You have come by just as we're opening for our 50th anniversary season.
My gosh. Oh my gosh.
It was 50 years ago on June 15th, 1969 that we opened our doors. And this year we are celebrating all season long with new exhibits, some special exhibitions, outdoor sculptures, kids' days, food truck days, and all kinds of things to hearken back to the past, but celebrate the present as well and look to the future.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I know Mr. Lilly, for a little background for those people who might not know, Mr. Lilly and his family started this museum. Now, I worked here for a short stint. Everybody, I think, at Sandwich knows that. About a year and a half, I worked here. And I always found interesting, because I always thought it was so mysterious, a museum. You know, how does it come to be? It turns out it's just some guy's stuff.
Well, you could say some guy's stuff.
I mean, a lot of stuff.
But you could also say some very discriminating collectors' collections.
She's articulate. I would say stuff. So, so Mr. Lilly brought his things and his collections here. And will any of his older collections be on display, or?
Sure. So he founded the museum with his own collection of cars. We have over 40 cars in our collection. Those were his. But he also brought together his father's collections of military figures, firearms, and then Mr. Lilly, who founded this, his wife was very interested in art and artifacts, and some other very special treasures that are here, such as our carousel. In this room, you have what was Mr. Lilly, our founder's auto collection.
So you're telling me that these cars in this space right now were all Mr. Lilly's?
They belong to Mr. Lilly, J.K. Lilly III. And in fact, this exhibit where we're sitting today is a brand new exhibit for this season that takes cars out of our collection and orders them chronologically to tell the story of the evolution of cars in America. It's called From Carriage to Classics: How Automobiles Transformed the American Experience. So we're looking at how cars changed the way people live, back from the early 1900s up through the 60s.
Well, everybody knows the Corvette sitting over here.
They
so-
do, with license plate number 1.
Yes, it's perfect. And it's funny because obviously even my kids who are all grown up now wouldn't know, but Gary Cooper's car is just spectacular.
Right behind us, the yellow and green car
Yes.
is Gary Cooper's Duesenberg, 1931 Duesenberg.
Right.
And I had the great privilege to have a little spin around the parking lot in it
No
when it was
way.
delivered back to us about 2 weeks ago after having been off our campus to be repaired for
Yeah.
the season.
Oh my gosh.
What a thrill. Let me tell
my
you, what a
gosh.
thrill.
And I'm sure you felt like one of his girlfriends. You know,
Well,
with the
that's
hair,
what I
you
was
know,
thinking.
the
I was thinking,
scarf and-
here I am riding in the seat that one of his girlfriends was riding in. What a kick. It
What a
was
kick, for
terrific
sure.
fun.
That's
But
wonderful.
also beautifully restored, like every car in this collection is. He
Right.
only bought the best examples of different types of cars. Every car here is a perfect example of its breed, if you will, of its type.
Well, now tell me though, and we're talking about the cars, and we have a lot of other things
Sure.
obviously to discuss, but how does this museum rank amongst other car museums? I know there are some that are, it must be way up there, I would think.
I
because of the
don't know.
collection.
I'm too new to know the exact example of how it ranks, but I do know that people come from all over New England and
that's
all over the
wonderful.
country to visit our collection.
Excellent, excellent. So,
And we win prizes when we take some of our cars to car shows.
You do?
They will win first prize.
is that
Yes.
right? Oh, that's great. So, we've talked about the cars, but gee, that's just as you come in the entrance.
Just one piece.
So tell me about some more things.
So what I want to tell you about, because this is a very interesting and wonderful way of organizing our collections for the 50th anniversary season and making them accessible to our visitor. We have, across our 100 acres, we've scattered 50 different pieces from our collections, from our plants, folk art, cars,
Oh,
art,
wow.
artifacts, scrimshaw. And we have 50 different pieces that we put together in a scavenger hunt. So when visitors come through the gate, they'll get a little, what would you say, a little map?
Yeah.
That shows them how to walk
you can
throughout
s-
our grounds,
and you
starting
can
at number
circle,
1,
yeah.
which is a rhododendron,
Yeah.
and on through the hydrangeas, where we've asked a mix of old friends, experts, and community leaders to each pick their favorite
Oh, that's
piece from our
wonderful.
collection. And so the 50 for 50 is really about the best of the best from our collections that are brought, made very accessible and very personal. Each one has
that's
a story of the piece and a story of the person who selected it
Oh,
and why they selected it, so that people can really feel that these pieces, even though they might not have been made in their lifetime, they're accessible to them.
Oh, that's wonderful. So tell me though, if you've got all of that and we can wander through, do you still get to, is part of that the carousel?
Well, actually, the carousel is one of, I think it's number 49 of our favorites. And in fact,
I was hoping it'd be up there somewhere.
Yes, that was chosen by the children at the 100 Acre School, because I
Oh,
know
that's
that you
great.
know that we have a wonderful STEM, science, technology,
sure do.
education, and math school here for 3rd and 4th graders, and soon to have kindergartners.
Oh, that's
and so
great.
they were asked collectively to pick their favorite object. What else could it be?
Right.
It's the carousel.
So how many kids do you have in the program? Do you know? off the top of your head?
About 35 kids.
And is it full or can you always take more? I don't know. Do you have
That's
a limit?
a good question. So we are unofficially fully enrolled for next fall. Meaning that, meaning that we're
Well, we're
enrolled.
full.
We're full, but you
Right.
never know what might happen. Somebody might
Sure.
move away. Somebody might move into
Right.
town. So,
So you can get on a waiting
if
list.
people are interested, they
Yeah.
should certainly contact us.
Oh, wonderful.
And because this, I think, was before your time here, we also have summer programs for children up through 2nd grade here at the 100 Acre School.
They
and
were just
so,
starting when
Yep.
I came,
When you
when I
came.
left. When I
Okay.
came and then I left. So
Yeah. So that we have vacation school, vacation
nice.
100 Acre School, we have summer 100 Acre School, and then
that's
we have year-round Summer Acre School.
That's great.
So 100 Acre School, excuse me. So any parent that might be interested for their children should certainly inquire about that.
The other thing too is you do programs for adults as well.
Absolutely.
And I can remember, and I know just because I've taken some of the classes and whatever on flower arranging or whatever it might have been at the time. So are you still doing those as well?
Absolutely. We're well into our Hydrangea series. It started a couple weeks ago with pruning, and now we're moving into the other things that you would do with your hydrangeas throughout the year. And so carrying it on into the fall, we're actually doing how to arrange dried hydrangeas.
Oh, nice.
So everything from pruning to the very end of that. We have a Hydrangea University.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know
And
that.
all sorts of other classes. I mean,
Nice.
other classes as well. Those are the most popular and prolific of our plant-related classes. But then, of course, we have other activities for families and children as well.
But I did want to ask, you still have the beautiful hydrangea area, right?
Yes, we do.
With all the special ones.
Yes, we do. We have a test garden,
Right.
and then we have another display garden as
Right,
well.
where the horticulturists came from somewhere else.
Yes.
Virginia, I think.
Yes.
And came up, because we did a show with them about it. And it was, to me, it was so interesting that Heritage was really trying to make that leap and say, hey, we're a horticultural museum as well.
We are. We're a display garden for hydrangeas, and we also have adjacent to that a test garden
Right.
for hydrangeas. And so growers and other people that are serious horticulturists have come together and used our facility to plant and collect data on new species to see if they're hardy enough for this area, et cetera. So we're really doing research as well on hydrangea species here.
Oh, you know, it gets exciting when I come here because you know what, here it is in Sandwich, Massachusetts, kind of, you know, just over the bridge, you know, an hour from Boston. You would
Fabulous sandwich.
Well, no, it is fabulous sandwich. Absolutely, I've lived here a long time. It is definitely fabulous. However, you'd think that you'd just be swamped. So, are you prepared for all the people that are going to show up this year?
We have a lot of visitors.
I know you do.
Typically, we have about 140,000 visitors a year. But we have a super crackerjack staff.
Right.
We have very, very well-trained interpreters. People might know those as docents,
Right.
who will be scattered throughout this gallery, outdoors as well, and also in our special exhibitions gallery, in our permanent collection, and even at the carousel, to help interpret the history for people. Because not only is it, I mean, cars, you can admire their beauty and how shiny they are, but they also tell a story of our American culture and the American experience. We're all about celebrating American culture here. And so our interpreters are ready to engage visitors who want to learn more.
Well, I know you have a lot of retired teachers that work here.
We do. We're very
I know
fortunate.
a couple in particular, and they just love it because they can't wait to get back to work so that they can, you know, meet that new group of people coming through and asking questions. So.
We do tours for school groups. This is the time of year, you know, school's getting toward being out and kids are ready to go outside. So we have school groups. We have tour groups from around the world come to visit Heritage. And of course, we have families and visitors of all ages.
Oh, that is so terrific. It is. It really, really is. So what do you got coming up? You know, you mentioned the food trucks. You must have something really special coming up.
Sure. Well,
I'm sure probably lots of
our
things.
opening day involves Spring Fling, which is
nice.
the first of our sort of festival days with food trucks and games for children and music. We're doing a series of 4 of those throughout the season. We're having our first run, you know, what should I say, race run, a 5K. We're calling it the Run for the Roadies.
Oh,
and so we're
fun.
allowing people to register to run on June 1st.
And where will they run?
Right through our rhododendron collection.
Oh, how fun.
A couple of loops around our
nice.
100 acres.
And you know what people need to understand? This is not a flat area.
This is not a flat area. This is
there's
not for
lots of
sissies.
hills.
Right, there are a lot of hills, but the rhododendron path takes them along the lake, the
yeah,
Upper Sham Lake,
sure does.
and through our rhododendron collection and all
fun.
around the campus. So that's a first. June 15th is a really important day for Sandwich residents and other visitors to bear in mind. That is our official 50th anniversary date. On June 15th, 50 years ago, we opened. And so that is a special family day. Admission will be $1.50. That's a throwback admission fee, 50 years old. So we'll have all sorts of activities and games for children and families, special tours. But also that night, we'll have a concert with the new Black Eagle Jazz Band, which is a favorite, I understand,
Yes, it
around
sure
here.
is.
That's at 6 p.m. But it was also Mr. Lilly's favorite band.
Yeah.
And so we're hearkening back to make sure that he's pleased with our choice of music And we know lots of people on the Cape enjoy that particular band as well.
Where will that be? I mean, will it be under a tent or?
It will be on the stage.
On the stage. Oh, excellent. Wonderful. So you still
That's
saw
just June. That's just May,
I'm
June.
sorry.
No,
I'm
no, no, that's
interrupting you.
okay.
Oh
No,
my
you're
gosh,
not
I'm
interrupting me.
again.
No, you're not. I'm just
so
saying
let's hear about July.
That's in the near future.
All right.
So let me check my little cheat sheet here.
You can do that.
So one of the things I want to mention, because this is a little bit new, we have always had some outdoor art installations and sculptures.
Right.
This year we're doing it a little bit differently. We have invited 5 artists from Massachusetts, each to prepare a piece to be installed on our grounds. And instead of having them all installed at once, we're rolling them out one by one across the summer. So we have time for visitors to come and watch the artist install the piece. And then the day after the installation, there'll be a family day where they can come and actually make art. We're calling it Maker's Day, where they can make art with the artist. Some sort of a work or a piece or a community art piece that's associated with the piece, the installed work. And so the first one is at the very the end of the first, or let me see, May 2nd and 3rd is our first installation. A beautiful osprey, about maybe 15 feet tall, that's made of sticks and stones.
Okay, I was going to ask, is that is it ephemeral art or is it going to be?
Well, this art is coming from somewhere else, and so this has existed earlier, but other pieces are being made expressly for their installation here at Heritage.
Wonderful.
And so that gives families and children and everyone the chance to be up close and personal with an art and to find it to be accessible, something they can do.
Sure.
They can admire it, it's outdoors, but they can also have access to actually trying it out themselves, trying out a related piece of art themselves. So that's happening throughout the summer.
Throughout the summer. So now you normally have a big fundraiser.
We do.
Which is,
Shall I tell you about that?
Oh, please do.
Okay.
Because that's, you know what, and I don't think people understand, you don't necessarily, I mean, if you're a member, you probably know about it, you know that it's coming up. But it's just a wonderful night. It's just so much fun, and everybody is dressed summer wonderful.
Yes,
beautiful.
It's true. Right.
It's just great.
Right, garden wonderful.
Yes.
Well, let me roll back just a little bit to fold another opening into that. Your viewers might not be aware that we have a brand new, really substantial garden opening this summer. It's called the Garden of the Senses. And it is currently, we're not quite done yet. It should be done in early June. But it is several acres devoted to people who have mobility challenges. And so it's all ADA accessible, and it is designed with very, very gentle, instead of the big hills, it's designed with some gentle inclines so that people can navigate from the higher parts of the garden down to the lower parts of the garden, but also explore some beautiful garden areas. There'll be an aspen grove, a white garden, English garden areas. It's around the windmill. That's part of it. That's being integrated into the Garden of the Senses. But the purpose of it is to allow people to use all their senses to experience this garden. And so, for example, there'll be an area that's all dedicated to memory. And so perhaps somebody who might have memory issues or memory loss would be brought by a caregiver, and they can go to this particular garden area, and all the flowers are arranged to be particularly full of scent or fragrance. And so people can take a piece of, a bit of lavender or mint or some other scent and say, here, Mom, smell this. Let's talk about it, what it reminds you of. That's just one example of some of the other activities that will be happening in the garden. Places for people to practice walking, using parallel bars, who might be recovering from an accident or just doing some sort of physical therapy, and other ways that people of all ages can allow their senses to really be activated in this garden. It's called the McGraw Family Garden of the Senses. So the McGraws, good people. So that's opening, sort of a soft opening in June, and then we'll have the ribbon cutting for the McGraw Family Garden of the Senses on July 13th, which is also our annual gala. So we're rolling all that into one, opening that garden, and then going for our 50th anniversary golden gala celebration on Saturday, July 13th.
And is that going to be held here on the grounds? Oh, wonderful.
So the cocktail party will be in the new Garden of the Senses, obviously something we've never had the chance to do before.
Right.
And then the dinner will be up here, actually near the car barn outside, in a tent outside. We expect about 250 guests.
Yeah.
And of course, if people are interested, visit our website and learn more.
Excellent. So I want to become a member.
Wonderful.
Well, I want to become a member. How do I do that?
So how do you do it? You can call Heritage.
How do I do that,
Well, look for our website, heritagemuseumsgardens.org, and come to the website. You can order your membership online. You can come to the ticket window here at 67 Grove Street and purchase your membership on site. You can call us and order your membership over the phone with one of our development membership office people. So many different ways to become a member, and there are lots of benefits to becoming a member.
That's what I wanted to ask about. What are those benefits?
So let's start with free admission. So if you want to come every single day and become a member, you come in, you pay your membership fee, and then you come in for free. We've introduced a new program this year of membership that really simplifies everything. You can buy a membership for 2 people, 4 people, 6 people. And so it doesn't have to be 2 grown-ups and children, it's just 2, 4, 6. So as long as the person that owns the membership comes, they can bring as many different people as they wish.
Sure.
So it might be, I might bring you one time and another time, another person the next time, and you would come in on my 2-person membership. So that's simplifying and making it easier for people to bring guests and introduce them. But in addition to free membership, discounts on programs, opportunity to register for special events, free guest passes, and other membership benefits as well along the way.
Well, you do have one of the
and
best.
you're supporting the
Well,
Heritage.
and that's the biggest thing,
Yeah.
isn't that the big thing?
It's the biggest thing is that their membership supports Heritage and its mission.
Right. You got to keep the lights on.
Exactly.
You can have beautiful cars, but if you can't see them, makes no
Exactly, it doesn't
difference.
matter.
So you also have one of the best gift shops around.
We do.
And to me, it's always, and it kind of still is, a big secret. And people should come to the gift shop.
People should come to the shop at
Even if they
Heritage.
don't want to come in, because they
That's
have
right.
no reason to right that day.
And not only that, you don't have to purchase a ticket to come to the gift shop because the gift shop is before the ticket
gates.
office.
Yeah, yeah.
A great place to buy garden-related gifts.
Oh, yeah, wonderful.
Car-related gifts, and just wonderful, house gifts and things for your mom or dad or friend or grandchildren.
Right, well,
it's a
and Mother's
super-duper
Day's
gift
coming
shop.
up,
And Mother's
right?
Day. So I should mention that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
We love moms, we love dads, and we love kids. So on Mother's Day, all mothers are free admission, whether you're a member or not. On Father's Day, all dads get free admission. And on Kids' Day, which is later in the summer, all kids get free admission.
How great is that?
And then we have special days, 3 days for Sandwich residents come free. And this year, for the first time, we're adding seniors and veterans to those 3 days as well, because we want to honor the fact that some people simply aren't able to come. And so we want to make sure that they have 3 days during the summer when they're free.
Now, do you still have the cafe?
Yes, we do.
And is it still run by Casual Gourmet, or is it
Yes,
somebody else?
ma'am.
It is. Oh, yeah. Well, I know Olive very well.
Yep,
And she
they're
does a great
food.
job.
She has some new additions to the menu this year.
Oh, she does? Oh, good. Oh, good.
So you've got to come. I'm not going to tell you what they
No,
are, though.
of
You've got
course
to come
not.
and
I
find
have
out.
to come. That's the whole point, right?
Right.
So, and you are doing the food trucks. That's one of the first things you're doing, correct?
Yes, on
Okay.
our opening day, food trucks will be there. That's called
Yeah.
Spring Fling. And then
Yeah.
throughout, I believe there's a series of 4 throughout the
Oh,
season.
wonderful.
They're basically kind of a family festival type
Yeah.
vibe with
Yeah.
food trucks, music, and activities for families.
And where would that be held on the grounds?
Well, the first one is the opening day,
Yeah.
April 27th. Let me look at my notes here, and I can tell you when the rest of them
Well,
are.
no, I was just wondering where.
Oh, where? Right here.
Right here, okay.
So just when you walk in, you come to the car barn on your left, and then there's a big field or a big
Oh, yeah.
grassy area.
Right.
That's where the food trucks will be.
Oh, excellent.
So it's April 27th, Spring Fling, of course, that was the
Yeah.
opening. Summer Sizzle, August 10th.
Yeah.
And then Fall Fest Friday, September 20th. Those are
wonderful.
the Family Food Fest days.
Wonderful. And you've got food trucks from all over the place? Oh, wonderful. That's great. Terrific.
And craft beers, things like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, all good stuff.
And that's just the summer, right? So
Right.
not to forget people's favorites, Halloween, Gardens Aglow,
Right,
all those
right.
traditional favorites for our sandwich
that's- so
and
you're gonna
other
keep
Cape
all
Friends.
of those.
Absolutely.
Right. So instead of taking anything away, you're actually building upon it.
We are building upon it. We are,
Wonderful.
the 50th anniversary pulled together the best of our collections, and then we added, we did this season, people have said, I wish, I remember when you did this. I remember
always do
when your military miniatures were on
Oh my
display.
gosh, that's a big deal.
And so they are on display now. I
Oh,
remember when the
wonderful.
diorama, the surrender at Yorktown, was on
Oh,
display.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
brought back this year.
Right.
I remember when you had Kids Day, when it's going to come back. It's come back this year.
Yeah.
I remember when admission was $1.50. June 15th only.
One day only, folks.
So we're hearkening back to people's favorites in terms of programming, and then also
Sure.
people's favorites in terms of items from the collection.
That's just wonderful. So you're here now, and you're loving Sandwich.
I love it. I live here in Sandwich.
You live here in Sandwich. That's good. That's excellent. So are you getting acclimated? You know, meeting
Absolutely.
new friends and new people, and
Dive right in.
at first, right? That's right.
terrific.
You do have 2 sons, you told me.
I do. One of them is close by in Boston, the other's in California.
Right, and one is going to be a lawyer, right? From Harvard.
That's right.
He's no dummy, that kid.
That's right.
I bet you're very proud of both of
Well,
them.
I am. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
That's just terrific. So, give me again. Okay, so you're open. You've got a lot of things going on, and the first big event is in May. And it's Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is something to keep your, sure, if you
Yeah.
want to treat mom,
Yeah,
bring mom for
them.
free
Right,
on Mother's Day.
Yeah. And then after that.
So I should say right before Mother's Day that we have our first artist makers event, because remember I told you about that
Yeah.
tall osprey that's
Right,
made out of
that's coming.
sticks? That's coming the end May 2nd and 3rd. And so if families want to come and watch the artist install that, and then come the next day to do art with the artist, that's coming up soon. All of this is on our website as well.
Okay, right.
Come to the website, great source of information.
So what they need to do is,
And
wait
also, we've sent this out to all of our
Oh, wonderful.
members, but this is also available
Sure.
at the gift shop. People
Sure.
can pick this up for a whole season. This is our whole
the
season
whole
of programming.
season is there.
Yeah.
Is it just here that we can pick that up, or are there other places in town?
Not other places in town right now, but we have
Okay.
sent it to all of our members.
Oh, excellent. All right, great. Well, I just want to thank you.
Thank you,
are
Melinda.
a delight to talk to.
Melinda,
for
thank you so
sure.
much. It's great to meet you.
And I wish you the best.
Well,
Welcome to
thank
Sandwich.
you. Thank you so much.
Welcome to downtown
Come back
Sandwich.
soon and I'll take you on a tour of our 50/50.
I would
50 for
love to.
50 of the car collection when the interpreters are here and can tell you more.
Sure,
And over to
sure.
our permanent collection and take a
Excellent.
ride on the carousel.
I'll take it right on the camera. The Black Horse is my favorite.
Okay, it's yours.
Thanks again.
Thank you, Melinda. Take care.
Thank you for joining me today at Heritage Museums and Gardens. My favorite place on Cape Cod, my favorite place in southeastern Massachusetts. Oh, heck, it's my favorite place in all of the world. I love Heritage Museums and Gardens. So go online, get your membership, buy a ticket, come to a special event, and have a great time with your friends and family. So thanks so much for joining me, and catch me another time on another Cape Conversation.